Yeah. So I suppose my screen is visible to you right now. So as per our understanding or analysis, okay, the price actually kind of moved, but however, we were not able to execute a trade. We didn't get a fill. Like the price just skipped off. Okay, now I'll show you with the charts of India markets. I'll just show you the India market chart. So if you quickly have a checkout on this, what we kind of actually realize is we really didn't get a retest, or we didn't really get a chance for an entry. Now, as I mentioned, like the beauty of would be of entering in this trade would be the fact that if you are capable of capturing something like a 20-30 point move in this particular setup, that itself would end up being a 1:3, right? As in the risk was just like 11 points. So this particular trade definitely, like, you would have, even though it gave something like a 40 point move, 40-50 point move, you would easily would have been able to capture something like a 30 point for sure, because the price actually came up till picked up by almost 50 points post our entry levels, right? So nothing much can be done out over here. So this particular setup is currently invalidated. Okay, so we were checking out for an entry based on this. So at this point of time, there is no point in waiting for an entry based on a retest over here, because the price is already like some 30-40 points above, and it has kind of given almost like a 50 point move beyond our entry. Okay, so now let's kind of have a look if something else can be tracked for. Okay, so first point, I just wanted to mention there could be trades like this that you plan out for, you watch out for, however you miss out on it. Okay, so this is something that I have been watching out for some pretty good time, and missing out feels bad, but that's a part of trading. Okay, now let's kind of just wanted to mention there is one more possibility, and this is actually an aggressive position. Okay, so I just wanted to mention to you before taking up with this. Okay, now what other perception is that you see this huge rejection that kind of came in out here. Okay, and I can definitely very well say that this could actually hold as a pretty good support. Now if the price managed to break below this, that could be the start of a new downside drop, and maybe we can actually expect the price to come down to the previous resistance levels. Okay, so someone who would kind of actually be thinking about a fresh long side position, I personally feel in the case of crude, he or she can actually wait for these levels to be taken out. Okay, but considering the fact there is a huge rejection out over here, this is going to be very aggressive, and the probability of you succeeding is going to be very less. Due to the very same reason, I'm not keen on checking out over here, checking out for an opportunity on over here. Trades like the setup that we saw earlier, those are the kind of ideal setups one could look out for. Why? Because your risk is just like 11 point, and you know for yourself if crude gives a move easily, you can capture like a 20-30 points, and you can easily capture something like a 1:3, right? So this thing out here is kind of a bit difficult. Okay, like as in getting out a trade out over here is a bit difficult, a bit aggressive one. So better not to check out for anything right now. Okay. So, is there anyone who got an trade out here? Is there someone who has already entered a position out here? So, who probably would have entered a long without a limit? Maybe if you entered at a market price or something. Is there someone who did that? So, this is clean resistance level breakout. Confluence US30 was picking up. We kind of actually had a confluence on the volume also. So, these were the factors that was looked into. As simple as that. Nothing complicated. So, anything else? Anything you would like to ask? Please feel free to ask. Now, would I go for an aggressive trade over here? The answer is no. I don't want to go for an aggressive trade out over here. But as I mentioned to you, somebody who is really aggressive, who want to take, let's say you have captured some points earlier, and you want to take some sort of a risk, you can actually think about taking out a long side position out here, setting up your stop loss over here. Okay, in that particular case, your risk is going to be around 20 points, and you need to capture something like a 40 point move to have a decent trade, 1:2. Okay, but I personally don't want to take that risk out over here, because I personally feel there is some sort of a good rejection that could possibly come out over here. I really don't want to do that. Okay, So any few questions, feel free to ask. So most probably today I'm not going to get any more opportunities on crude because this was the best. In fact, like this week, this was the first entry I was going to get, but that didn't happen. Okay. So anything else you would like to ask, please feel free to ask. And if I'm getting any other opportunity, I'll tell you. And now this particular trade, we could have actually gotten if we compromised for a 5 points. But I personally wasn't ready for that. I personally didn't feel uh, I was not comfortable in kind of compromising on a 5 points to enter the trade. Fine. So anything else, anything you would like to ask, please feel free to ask me. You can unmute yourself and ask. You could just unmute yourself and ask. You can feel free to unmute yourself. Now, the reason I didn't go for a buyout over here is because 20-point risk, and I personally feel some sort of a rejection could come in over here, and I really don't want to take a chance out here. Okay. So anything you would like to ask, feel free. Hello.
Hi, sir. If the resistance, the long wick on the red candle,
Okay.
That is taken out.
Okay.
So in that case, we need to draw fresh levels
Yeah,
and
you
trade
have
accordingly.
good question. Yeah, we'll have to draw like that itself will act as a resistance. That will act as a
Yes.
resistance, and if that level is getting taken out, it can act as your new support also.
Okay.
If the price
So based on just 1 point of that is only 1 point. No, that is only one wick. So we can draw it as a level.
yeah, you can. Because that is actually the near-time high. That is the day's high, right? So you know for yourself the day's high would actually act as a significant level. The day's high and the day's low marks, they would definitely be acting as significant levels every single time, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it would definitely act as a level. Now, as I mentioned to you, if somebody wants to take out a trade over here, that would be a bit aggressive because you're like there's some good rejection over here. Plus, crude has given some pretty decent upside move, and you just see these kind of candles. Okay, so these kind of candles are some sort of a trap to take out the people who would be booking profits, people who are already in earlier. You'll be kind of actually taking. Just look at the volume that took place over here also. Okay.
Yeah.
Although these kind of tell us that yeah, there's someone who is kind of not pretty comfortable, and I think would pick up over that. And I really don't want to take a chance right now. And this one was a beautiful setup. Okay, so what we have missed out today, to be pretty frank, like that would have been a very beautiful opportunity. So first of all, this is a level that has been tested for quite a long duration of time. Okay, and as I mentioned to you, your next level till where you can expect the price to move next, that was also pretty decent. Your risk reward was amazing, in simple words. But this is a resistance level right now where crude is testing is also a resistance level. Okay, all support could probably act as a new resistance. You see this? So right now where crude is playing around is also a very good level. Okay, now we can actually check out for some sort of a rejection. We can actually check out for some sort of a rejection if we are getting the confluences, rejection based opportunities. But let's see. No, I'm personally not comfortable. As I mentioned, I'm personally not comfortable in going ahead with the position now. Like 20 point. Now, if this level is getting taken out and then followed by that some sort of a retest, we might think about some fresh longs. So till then, no, this was an amazing opportunity, in fact. So from 5431 straight to 5484, that is like a straight 50 points, right? So it's kind of like a 1:5. But you won't be able to capture a 1:5, but pretty much you can capture 1:3, right? So now somebody would be saying, yeah, I would have captured a 50 point. I personally don't think you would be having the possibility to capture a 50 point if you kept on trailing. But still, if you kept on trading, also you would have captured something like a 30 point. So 1:3 would have been possible.
Okay. So, sir, if we were trailing,
Yeah.
why would have we thought of exiting at 30 points? I mean, is there any reason, any signal over here?
let's kind of say that your risk was just 10 points, right? As soon as you
Yeah.
got something like it, so in this particular case, if we got some sort of a retest, then we definitely would have entered the trade, right? As we planned.
Yes, I got that. I
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah, but then the problem over here was that the price never stopped. Price actually gave something like a 30-40 point move, then only it kind of halted for a while even. Right. In this particular case,
Yeah.
even it kind of actually gave like a 50-point move, then only it kind of actually showed some sort of a rejection. Right.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
in
yes,
those
yes.
cases, let's say that 20 point you had trailed to cost. Okay. And you
Yeah.
have achieved a 1:3. Price is 50 points above your entry, where your risk was 11 points. Like a 1:3.
Yes.
Even if you trail to 1:3 or 1:4, at least 1:3 you would have captured, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as simple as that. So then you would have been stopped out most probably on either this candle. This candle would be the only cases where you probably would have been stopped out. So
Okay.
at least a 1:3 you could have captured, right?
Yeah.
So every trade, as I just mentioned, like every trade is not necessity you had to get a fill, you had to wait. So that is one thing about directional trade. You had to wait for a while, you had to watch out to try to catch out the opportunity. But this time it's missed out. And so in fact, like if I just review this particular trade right now, so I would feel okay if I compromised on a 5 point, then I could have easily got a fill because when we were looking at the charts, it was like 5 4 3 5 5 4 3 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's fine. Like because in the long run, this is what works for me. Like,
Okay.
if you get like a 1:3 today, that means you are up 3 hours, right? So if you have
Yes.
one more trade like this for the week, that's it. Done. You're done for the week.
All right.
Right. So let's see. So right now, guys, I don't think we are going to get out another opportunity out here. So hard luck. Okay. So if you were capable of picking out a trade, good work. But I personally no trade. That's it. Okay. So hard luck. Let's see. So if anything else is there, I'll definitely update you, and I'll actually update you the trade. So yeah,
Hi, Hari, can you
yeah,
hear me?
yeah. Please. Hi, Ash.
Yeah, hi, this is Ayush here. I just wanted to know, you said you missed a trade by 5 points. So wasn't there another level that you would look at probably to enter or something like that post
See, the
10
I'll tell
points?
you the plan. Okay, so the plan was actually pretty simple. It was pretty straightforward. So we were kind of actually checking out for a setup based on this level getting taken out, right?
Yeah.
We were kind of actually checking out for a trading setup based on this particular level. This is a very beautiful level being taken out. Okay. And if this level is getting taken out, as you can actually see out over here, the next major level lies over here, right? Now that is where the price is. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So in between that, there are no other levels. Then what else can we actually watch out for? So this is that. Just a second. Where is it? Okay, that's on a different chart, I suppose. Okay, this is that particular support that we were checking out for. So if that level is getting taken off, the next significant level lies out over here. Right. So right now the price has eventually managed to go above that also. But in between this, do you see any other significant level in between this?
Not really.
We don't see anything in between. So basically, there is kind of nothing much to do, right? So
True.
it's pretty simple. Like if that level is kind of getting taken out, we really don't have anything significant in between. So whenever we are trading, we always start off from the larger time frame, right? We start off marking from the larger time frame. So this was a corresponding level. So this was like a good level. So if that level in between this, we don't have anything. In between this particular region, we really don't have anything, any significant level, right? So this was what we wanted. This is what we planned for. But unfortunately, I didn't get a fill. But to be pretty frank, someone who was entering with a market order, they would definitely be entering this trade. Okay.
Got it, Hari. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, thank you, Iris. So in fact, this is like my personal thing. I always use limits for entry. Now there could be someone who enters with the market. They can. Okay, they would have definitely got a fill. Okay, and we need like usually when it kind of comes to trading crude, it is often these kind of significant levels, like significant levels that has been tested multiple number of times. The breakouts of these are the ones that give us some pretty decent risk reward ratio. Not every trade we had to catch. Okay. So in between the range, I usually don't play. I usually check out for trades when it kind of comes out of the range. That is breakouts. Fine. Anything else? Any other questions you would like to ask?
Just one more thing, Hari. Ayush, again, sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, like, with the movement in crude that is generally there, it's really, really quick. Like, if it is on the upside, it will generally go on the upside very, very quickly.
Yeah.
As far as, what I have been monitoring since the past 3 odd months or more than that.
Yeah.
So, with an upside that is coming out, like you said, you missed the trade by 5 points or something like that. It would be like, say, when it is on an uptrend, mainly, wouldn't you want to try and enter at another level, or you'd still stick to your level?
See, I usually kind of my personal thing is that crude usually a plus or a minus 10 point movements it gives. Okay.
Yeah.
Plus or minus 5, plus or minus in that range, it usually gives a move. So even if it has to move up, it usually kind of fluctuates a bit. Okay. So in fact, you kind of see in this particular candle, it kind of actually tried to take a dip, but then it didn't do that. Okay. So even if if you kind of place your entry price maybe a 4 to 5 points below the current traded price, also often you get a fill. So in fact, I guess this is the second time or something, like over the last 1-2 months we are doing live trades. We are not getting a fill. I guess it's the second time. Okay, but majority of the times we get a fill. If we can actually keep limits, you get a fill. So this thing we observe it in Forex also. When we keep limits, usually we get a fill. Okay, because some sort of a fluctuation.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so wouldn't you also see the best buyer and best seller on the screen, right? Because you'd obviously be able to see it.
Obviously, like I can actually see that on the terminal. So we can see that. But then as your question is you are kind of actually asking based on the best bid. Okay, that's the thing. So in this particular trade, our risk is just 11 points. It was like 11 points that we kept, right?
Okay.
If we are kind of relaxing by 5 points, the thing is our risk reward ratio, like for 1:2, we need a 30 points. Whereas if we are capable of capturing with the 11 point risk itself, we just need a 33 points, which becomes a 1:3, right? We're getting an extra R, right? So these kind of my average stop loss in crude is between 15 to 25. Okay, so it's kind of very rare we get setups with a lesser stop loss, but once we get that, it's kind of good, and especially when we're getting these kind of things on a significant level, it's worth pursuing.
Just one more thing I wanted to understand. You speak about trailing the stop loss. So in case you had an entry at 5430, where would you probably trail your first loss, and what time would you probably trail your first stop loss at if the price is moving?
Okay, so basically that part is actually something discretionary. Okay, so it depends on a lot of factors. So I can't just tell you just because of this I trail or something. It depends on multiple factors. So in this particular case, just have a look. Okay, so we had crude kind of picking up. So until and unless we kind of actually have this candle getting formed, there was not even a single sign of a bearishness, right? So from here onwards, until and unless we see this particular big red candle, we really don't have any sort of a bearishness. And one more thing is there. So the candle that is actually kind of forming just followed by that is actually a really bullish candle. So simple words, I just wanted to say, somebody who would have actually got out an entry over here, let's say that his risk is only this much, right? As soon as he would have actually captured something like a 1:2, definitely he would have trailed. He would definitely have trailed to his kind of cost above his entry. Maybe he would have logged in at least a 10 points also. That person to person, it would vary. I can't tell you what I would have done at that point of time. But usually, as soon as the risk is mitigated, I usually trail it to the cost. Then something like a 1.5 hour, I think about, so every 10 point, again, we are capturing. I think about trading something like a 5 point, 10 point. So that we are locking in our profits. Now there could be a situation
Okay.
where we feel, okay, the market is going to reverse. You can think about cutting some points, like cutting some positions over there, whatever the price is. Let's say you captured a 1:3. So in this case and all, the price has given at one point of time like a 40-50 point more. So what is wrong in you kind of cutting half of your size over there at a 1:5? Now, even if you cut the rest of your size at 1:3, still you're getting the average of that. That is 1:4. Got it?
So
Yeah.
got it, Hari.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, so basically that part, like I can't actually just give a ready-made answer. It depends on your perspective at that point of time. In this particular case, that's what I said. Even if it did a 1:5, definitely you would have got something like a 1:3 if you got an entry. Okay, and
Sure.
it's a part of the game. Like as I mentioned to you, if you look out for 100 trades, 50 trades you will get, and out of those 50 trades you get, 50 trades you get, and 50 trades you will miss out. And out of those 50 trades that you get, 25 will fail, 25 will win. Now, how you manage those 25 winning, that is going to help you. Okay, so
True.
half of your direction trades to lose. That's the story. Now, if you see, so I have kind of more or less updated almost every live trade that we have done on YouTube. Almost majority of them fail, but when we win, we look forward to make more than what we have risk. That's it. Right. So how we manage the risk is ultimately what is going to help in these kind of commodities. So, and I personally feel, yeah, we'll get more opportunities. And so let's check out for some sort of a rejection. So right now, look at the beauty of price action out here. So we're getting an exact rejection from that very same resistance level we are talking about. So now we can actually check out for some sort of a short side opportunity. Nothing wrong in that. So we can kind of actually check out for the short side opportunity. Guys, like now, let's kind of have a look out here. So if we are to take out a short exactly over here, our stop has to be kept above this. You agree with me, right? Now, what do you see? So do you see something like an RSI divergence? I guess it's the first time we are seeing in real time when we are doing, and these for the last one month. So RSI is actually showing us a divergence, bearish divergence. Okay. And someone who wants to go for a short, he or she would be kind of thinking about a short with a stop loss out here. Now, on the downside, till where do you expect the price to drop? So, Ayush, like, where do you think the price could drop? I guess you are there unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, till where do you expect the price to drop? If we get some sort of a bearish drop, so till where do you expect it?
I think 543054 from the place where it actually picked up from.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, there is kind of some sort of a drop going to come in. We need to get something to our entry. That is like we would be getting some sort of an opportunity where the price kind of actually eventually manages to take a dip towards our entry. And there could be a pattern that could be identified over here where we can actually keep a stop above this. Now let's have a look what US 30 is doing, then we'll decide. Okay. So at this point of time, US 30 is kind of looking like it's just taking a pick. Okay, let's see. So if we have both the confluences together matching, we can check out for short side opportunities. Okay, and I hope we can get a trade now if that happens. That is, we can actually check out for the price eventually taking a drop towards this particular support, and the stop definitely has to be set somewhere above this. Okay. And one more thing is that if the price actually peaks above this, we can think about flipping our position too. Means we can go for a long side if the price flips, price picks. Okay. So anyways, we'll have to wait for some time because we need some sort of a confluence. So RSI is still above 60, but RSI is showing some bearish divergence. You see that, guys? You see that RSI is showing a bearish divergence? Yes, right. So what about others? Like we have a lot of people who are very silent in the room. So what do you see? Yeah. So let's check out for this. And this is actually a trade against the trend. Okay. That is against the overall trend we are trading. So once again, the chances of us failing is higher over here. Okay. In fact, the chances of us going wrong is higher. But is going to be worth a try. Why? Because let's say that the price is capable of breaking below this. That is kind of coming down towards the entry levels. It would be something like a 1:5. Okay, if that happens. Not 1:5, 1:4. But 1:2 is pretty much reasonable out here. So let's see if we can get some sort of a confirmation, then we'll check. Okay. So the confluences that we are looking at over here is we are seeing some sort of a divergence out here. Okay. So on the upside, just have a look at the buying pressure. Does it look like the buyers are more or less getting exhausted? Looks like to me. Okay. Now out here, this is what US30 is doing. So if US30 is going for a dip again, we can also think about going for a short out there on crude oil. Okay. So let's see. So I should not lose the trade this time. Since I should not miss out. So guys, I'm thinking about going for a short. Okay. I'll keep my sell order at 5468 this time. Okay. And now once again, if I don't get an entry, it doesn't really matter because it happens as I mentioned to you. It's supposed to be happening. So 5468. Okay. So a sell order has been kept at 5468, and I'm setting my stop loss above this. That is like 5492. Okay. So more or less like a 22 point stop this time. 22 point stop. So any questions? Yeah, I have placed the order. No fill. Okay. Once again, it's a limit pending. Let's see if I get a fill. What's the best buyer and seller? Yeah, just a second. I'll just tell you. Okay, guys, like if you're not speaking, just make sure that you just unmute yourself. Sorry, mute yourself. So right now, the best price, the best bid price is currently 54. Is keeping on changing. Is 5455 at this point of time. 5457 now. Okay. So yeah, we may get a fill. Like we may get a fill this time. So it's kind of approaching. 5463 now. Okay, so our pending limits are at 5468.
On the top where the price has reversed.
Okay.
The small green candle and the red candle with the large wick,
Yeah,
bottom wick.
I got it. Yeah.
Can that be considered? I know you don't want us to remember the patterns, but doesn't that look like a bearish engulfing? Like, should that count? Sorry?
That looks like an evening star, right?
Yeah, you could say.
Okay. Bearish engulfing in the sense, which one are you referring to?
The green one with the small green one and the red one.
The small green one and the red one.
On the top where the price is reversing, the small green one with the larger wick on the top.
You're talking about,
yeah,
right? Okay, so
yeah.
More than that, like, see, a typical bearish engulfing would look something like this. Okay, where you have something like this and then you have something like this. Okay, so not a typical bearish engulfing, yeah, you can call it, but basically it's telling me that rejection is there.
Yes.
Actually, like the red bar or the red candle that kind of actually gets formed is usually a complete candle often.
Okay.
Complete candle as in that would be
So
something that has a full body, full size body.
ideally, we would have wanted the red candle to be a bigger candle. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a complete size candle.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. So we will get we'll get a fill pretty soon, guys. Looks like we're just going to get a fill. Kind of reach the price. Okay. It actually kind of reached 5467. Our limits are placed at 5468. And when it kind of comes to taking out an entry, I'm usually very confused. Like I usually don't give for something like a 3 to 5 points. Also, I usually don't compromise. So if I don't get a fill, yeah, it's 5466 now. We might get a fill pretty soon. And as I mentioned to you, I'm thinking about flipping my position above this. That is, if the stop loss is getting triggered, with the stop loss goes a long entry. Okay, so with stop losses kind of coming in, like there will be a long entry also being created. Okay, and then I'll set my stop loss below this. Okay, I'll be flipping my position from short. I'll be switching to long if this high is getting taken out. Okay. So, and you guys know, like we kind of set up our stop loss in such a manner that we understand, okay, our view goes wrong, right? So if our view goes wrong, we can flip the position, right? That is fine. So shall I compromise? It's just like a 2 points now. No, let's wait. It's kind of a 4 points now, 3 points. Let's wait. Let's kind of actually wait and see if we're getting out of fill. And if that happens, well and good. Else, see guys, like never ever trade. Okay, kind of never ever trade based on anybody else's signals or based on anybody else's analysis. So you always trade if you have done your studies, you have done your analysis. Okay. Now, one more thing is that so make sure that so when you're tracking the markets, so as far as crude oil and all is concerned, and as far as commodity trading in general is concerned, so if you're someone who is kind of going to spend one day in front of the charts, you are kind of actually allocating only one day for trading commodities. It's not going to work for you, right? Because there could be some days when the market is kind of really in such a beautiful trending manner, whereas there could be some days when the market is dead. Okay, so only if you have an exposure to almost the opportunities out there. So only if you are kind of capable of seeing the opportunities, filtering out the best probable risk reward ratio setups, only then you can actually do something good out here. Okay, now some friends kind of ask, okay, only Monday I trade in commodity, only Tuesday I trade in commodity, some things like that. It's not like trading expiry day. Now I know people who trade only on expiry days, only on Thursdays they trade. That works. Okay, so selling options on expiry days kind of is kind of a very beautiful thing to do. Only on expiry day you do. You can think about capturing something like a 1% still. Okay, but in commodities market is not that way, and we might compromise a bit, guys. Like we might be having to compromise a bit. So some of you might be kind of a bit disappointed why, because we are not yet in the trade. But guys, like to be pretty honest, it's very difficult to get a trade. Okay, especially when you're trading a bit larger size. 4.5 point difference itself brings a huge variation. Someone who is kind of trading maybe one or two lots, yeah, for him or her, just like a variation of maybe 300 rupee, 400 rupee, right? So, but stay disciplined. So we had to stay disciplined. It's kind of around 10 points beyond our limits. But we'll wait. Now we'll wait. I'm not ending this meeting. Let's make sure that we have a continuity out here. Okay. So right now our friend is asking what is the best bid. So right now the best bid is 5459. The best ask is 5461. So right now, okay. So this is actually kind of a typical sign that is telling us that the markets are kind of more or less looking a bit exhausted for the bulls. Okay. So we can actually see that from the volume. We can actually see that from the divergence. Just have a look at the RSI. Just have a look at the RSI. What do you feel about it? It may take support 200 EMA if it come down. Yes, 73.13. 73.13 is other levels that we were thinking out for an entry, right? 70, no, not 73.13. So what our friend Tony is saying is out here. So right now US 30 is there as a confluence for us. So US 30 is also kind of looks like it's going to go for a dip. Now look at RSI. RSI showing weakness. Now, so I think I may compromise. I may have to compromise. So then my risk is going to be. The problem out here is if I go for an entry over here, then my risk reward ratio is going to be 1:1, which is not favorable. So as long as I don't get a trade out here, that 1:2 can't be maintained. Okay. So there is no point in kind of getting out a market entry or modify my limits, because we'll have to compromise on our risk reward ratios if that is to be done. So guys, yeah, please ask some questions. Let's make this time a bit more productive. As in, if you can ask some questions, then this time that we are waiting is usually a bit more productive. So it is usually during this particular time, this kind of waiting time, I usually kind of actually go through some YouTube videos. Like I kind of actually go through some research papers. I usually go through some WhatsApp messages, all these things. If you could ask some questions, I guess that'll be really useful. Maybe if we could utilize this time a bit more efficiently, because we had to wait. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stick with this. My personal view is if I'm getting an entry, let it be. If I get my entry and my stop loss is being triggered, then I'll flip my positions. Means I'll switch to the long side. Okay. So feel free to ask some questions. So we may have to wait.
So we'll flip our trades to the long side because the day's highs would be taken off then.
Yeah. So if once again
That's the
is capable of picking up, that means that's kind of actually a really bullishness that the bulls are showing. Okay. So right now, either the bulls are kind of actually retrieving or they're taking a break. That is what I realize. That's what I feel like. Either the bulls are kind of either coming out or the bulls are actually just taking a break.
okay.
Now, if the price has once again to pick up towards these highs, then definitely it has to happen with volume, right?
Yeah.
Once again, the price can actually manage to pick up towards these levels without volume. Okay, and let's have a look at the major levels. Okay, so we kind of actually say that. So we said that okay, this is actually at a major level where crude is playing around right now. Okay, guys, we have no. Okay, so we also have actually kind of mentioned that it's kind of actually at a significant level where crude is actually playing around right now, right? This resistance level that we were talking about. So it has been tested twice already today. So often what we kind of see is usually it's on the third time that the levels kind of actually get taken out. Now, if this level gets taken out, just see the next significant level, look somewhere over here, right? And that could be an opportunity too. That's what I personally feel. So let's see how it goes. So this particular time, it almost approached our price, kind of actually almost approached our entry limits. However, like again, we didn't get a fill, but most probably we'll get it soon. Okay, if we have to get, maybe we are going to get it pretty soon. So just be a bit more patient and wait. How to confirm trend reversal? See, there is nothing that can be confirmed in the markets. That is one part. But then there are confluences like this, no? That is first and foremost, RSI is forming lower lows. Okay, RSI is kind of actually forming lower lows. Second thing is RSI has actually kind of come below 60 marks. Now the next thing is that look at the volume. Volume looks more or less dried up. Not telling you dried up, but more or less looks like the bulls are losing its momentum. So these are the things, that I'm kind of looking into at this point of time. So let's see.
What would be your stop loss if we go long, if we flip our position?
Okay. Good question. So at this moment, if you look at the chart, your stop loss would have to be kept somewhere over here. But then let's say that the price is actually kind of doing something like this. Then it is giving a breakout. Then we can set a stop loss like this. Get that? Right? So you'll have to wait for the price to approach that.
Sir, what would be our risk to reward if it doesn't move like sideways?
Okay. If it becomes sideways, then our risk reward is going to be more or less 1:1. Okay.
1:1.
But I personally feel if this level has to be taken out, another move like this can be anticipated. Okay, because this is also a very significant level. Okay. And if crude is to take out this particular level, then definitely the buyer should be that convinced. Okay. And they would definitely initiate some pretty good longs. Usually when significant levels are taken out, it is often accompanied with some amazing volumes, kind of driving at least like a 50-60 point move. Okay. And our stop would be anyway something in the range of 20 points or so. Good enough, right?
Okay. So because it was previously in a upward move, we'll go with the 1:1 RR.
It's not going to be 1:1, man. Like that's what I said. So for us to kind of decide on our RR and mention something about the RR, we first need to figure out where we will be setting up our stop, right? So that part.
Let's say it doesn't consolidate and it makes straight away goes up.
Doesn't consolidate and straight away goes up, still we get an entry because our buy entry is actually kept with stop loss market trigger. So for example, let's say you're selling one lot, you keep a stop loss for one lot, right?
Okay.
Rather than one lot, you keep a stop loss for 2 lots. So when your stop loss is being triggered, quantity would be +1.
Okay.
Get that?
Yeah.
So this thing, see, I guess like my luck is really bad today. You see this level has been tested, but we didn't get an entry. Okay. So
it's because of the lot size.
I don't think about the lot size. I really missed out if that exact price was being traded. It could be because of that. Just this particular level is being tested, and the price actually took a dip. So we are not yet in the trade. Okay. So
it happened earlier as well.
Happened earlier. Earlier, like my entry was five points away, but this time my entry was either at the same place or it was maybe 1 point.
I'm not talking about today. Earlier, a few days back,
when we like, if I take 100, if I look out for 100 opportunities, only 50 times I get a fill.
Oh yeah.
Okay, half of the trades I miss out like this. But I guess you have some learnings out here, right? Like how we look at the price, what all we look into, all this stuff. So there are many times when we miss out opportunities like this, but nothing to be disappointed about. Just stay disciplined. That's the thing. So trading is very tough. Okay, to be pretty honest, trading is very tough, and if you're into full-time trading, that's the toughest thing that you could be doing because it tests your patience like hell. There could be days when you stick in front of the screens like this on this pretty seat, like 2-3 bottles, or 2-3. I have more. The scene always 4-5 water bottles you stick, and still you don't get a trade. Even so, worst thing is when your view goes right and you don't get a fill.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. So you go for a trade. You go for for example, today there's 2 setups that has been watched out. I have been watching it out from the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah.
For this thing, okay, just now. But then the earlier one was being watched out from the afternoon. But still, you don't get a fill. That's the most saddest part. But it happens.
Happens. Got it. I think somebody's asked a question on the chat box.
What?
Somebody's asked the question in the chat.
Okay, can we go for a short with the stop loss above 68 level? Okay, I guess your question is like, can we go for a short with a stop loss above the 68 level. I didn't get that, man. Like, I'm not okay. I guess in Indian rupee, I guess he rounded off the numbers above 5468. Above 5468, that is over here. Okay. I get that question. Okay, so what our friend is asking is like, can we go for a short opportunity right now with our stop loss out here? That would be too less a stop. Okay, in this particular case, that would be actually too less. 5468 and your kind of entry being somewhere at 5455. Okay, you can, but then I'm not interested. Because this was the thing. This was the thing we should have been able to trade. And one more thing is, if you go for a short over here, what is your risk reward? Let's have a look out here. So if you go for a short over here, so your risk reward is like 1:1, right? You can go for a trade, but then your risk reward won't be satisfied. It's going to be a 1:1. Fine. I guess it's clear. So Rahul, is it clear for you? So as I mentioned, like when it kind of comes for a reversal or a rejection, you can check out for these parts. Now RSI, to be pretty honest, I personally don't use much of an RSI. Okay, but then like since I'm showing it to someone, you need some more confluences, right? So for that thing, like as far as the confluence is concerned, this is one of the easiest thing that can be added on your screen. Okay, but don't think that you're going to get the results just because you add RSI, volume, all this stuff. That's your conviction. Okay, and if risk reward is good, half of the times you win. Okay, that's it. Today looks like a very unfortunate day. Anyways, let's wait. It's not the time to conclude anything. So we'll actually wait, or you guys want to take a break. So I guess it's been 1 hour. Or we could kind of actually take a break and we'll see what happens. So if no trades are happening, I'll just kind of cancel all the pending limits. Then tomorrow again, morning we'll start with fighting with Bank Nifty. We'll do short straddles, that's it. And yeah, so I guess like we can take a break because you guys are not asking any questions. If any questions are there, I would be loving to answer that. But then if you don't have any questions, we can take a break and we can get back. Okay. So Tony, yeah. So guys, like we are going to upload a video right now. It's of Tony the sailor. So it's a very interesting video. And in fact, of the videos that we have done, there's a lot of value out there. So just check it out. Okay, just check out. It's an interview with Tony. So regarding his trading style, he's fresh to the markets. He's just like 1.5 years into the market. But then the kind of way how he analyzes the market or the data he makes use of is very good. So I'll be sharing it. Like we'll be sharing it straight away. Like soon we'll be sharing it. Just have a look at it. Okay. Maybe we missed out on this setup also, but it's fine. Let's see. Okay, I'll update you. Anyways, let's not spend much time if no questions are there. Thank you. So this part, this one was a very unfortunate thing. Hard luck. Okay.